Hi, a blessed afternoon again. Welcome again to the Rexel Saturdays. To all our dear co-teachers, co-helping professionals, co-parents, and of course also to all the students who are watching. Thank you so much for attending our Cell Saturdays this afternoon entitled Well-Being in the Age of Disruption and Uncertainty. So this is in collaboration again with my Rex Bookster family together with Far Eastern University, Guidance and Counseling, University Peer Counselors, Unilab Foundations, and of course, Heads Up PH. Uh, just to give a little background of myself, okay, so I am Sheikh Guevara Hoxon, and I was the past president of the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association, which is the professional organization for counselors in the country, the former branch leader for the American Counseling Association, also a member of the Professional Regulation Commission, CPD Council, or the Continuing Professional Development. Currently, I'm part of the Far Eastern University, Manila and Makati as a guidance director, a consultant for the mental health programs, Heads Up PH of the Unilab Foundation, and the author and consultant of My Career Journey by the Rex Bookstore, Rex Publication family. And also as a parent and a helping professional, I'm also an anti-bullying advocate, more also on career development, well-being, family, marriage, life, and child protection. So for today, we are very excited today kasi po ang segment po this afternoon is I will be bringing our former president of the PGCAP Organization of the Philippines wherein I founded, also the past president of the YMCA, past president of the University Peer Counselors, College Y Club, co-founder of the B1, Be the One PH, an NGO, vice president of the Institute of Arts and Sciences Student Council, and of course, no, my co-advocate for the mental health awareness, Sir Russell John Batoy, who will be sharing and inspire you later po, no? Mamaya po yan, about his struggle and paano po siya naka-recover and bounce back in his difficulty. So if you have questions, kindly put it in the comment section and also participate no, with our live Rexel Saturday seminar. Okay? And also put some of your reflections in the comment section. And ang hashtag po natin ngayon, lagi po natin tatandaan, Rexel Saturdays. Okay? And my personal hashtag naman po is Shake Adventures. Okay? So the part one, the course outline of this activity is one, we'll be giving the rationale. Number two, agreement. Number three, what is the age of disruption and uncertainty that we are experiencing? Behavior changes and effects of COVID. Psychological well-being. What is the psychological well-being, especially for children and adults as well later? Mental health concerns. Ano po ba mga pinagdadaanan natin ngayon? At paano po natin malalaman kung ito na ay isang mental health disorder? Of course, how to develop healthy psychological well-being. No? Mamaya po yan. Mga practical tips together with the testimony and inspiration of course, no, Mr. Russell Batoy. So excited na ho ba kayo? Excited na ho ba tayo dito sa ating activity for today? Okay? So thumbs up po tayo kung excited na tayo. And of course, you can also, use the hashtag Rexel Saturdays. So to all our co-parents, magandang hapon po, co-teachers, co-helping professionals, my family and friends, no? Magandang hapon din po sa inyong lahat. So one of the rationales why we are here is that, number one, if you want to get po, no, the free direct online course on Journey to Psychological Wellbeing, you can also get it, no, sa ating pong Rex Bookstore. It's a full course. Siguro po mga 4 hours, but definitely it will guide and inspire you, no? So, marami po kasing tanong doon sa Journey to Psychological Wellbeing course, and this will end on May 31. So, habol po kayo. Aside from the webinar, so ganun po ka-generous ang ating Rex publication. So, marami pong queries about mental health. Kaya po, binrot up ho ulit namin ito in somewhat an extensive, again, no, details, but also sa nararanasan po natin ngayon sa COVID. Okay? And this is also one of the important rationales in the CDC 2020. No? Sabi ho dito is that the outbreak of coronavirus diseases, no, is definitely stressful po. Okay? Napaka-stressful po for people, and there are a lot of fear, anxiety about the disease, no, overwhelming and causing strong emotions not only among adults, hindi lang ho tayo, lalo na pong naapektuhan ng ating mga anak at ang ating mga learners at ang ating pong mga estudyante. Okay? So, also one of the rationales is that nagkaroon po tayo ng Philippine Mental Health Law, or what we call the Republic Act number 11036. At ito po ay nagbibigay ng batas, no, for mental health programs not only in our schools but also among our families, our industry, our community, and our country. So importante ho na mamaya is i-impart ko rin kung ano po ba yung well-being approach po sa pamilya and of course sa ating po mga eskwelahan at sa ating komunidad. So, sinasabi rin ho ni Dr. Cornelio Cabanaag, no, the President of the Philippine Mental Health Association, na napakarami ho talagang mental health problems ngayon, lalo na ho sa panahon ngayon na meron pang pandemic, no? Not only in the age of disruption, but in the age of uncertainty and isolation. Okay? And sabi ng pinaka-recent study ng World Health Organization, 2017 rather, no? Na mas marami hong naapektuhan ngayon. Kung dati mga 1 to 5% lang, ngayon we have 10 to 20% of children and adolescents, no? So mga adolescents po natin, mga 12 to 18, our children are definitely the 0 to 12 years old that are experiencing a lot of mental health problems, no? At nagpipick daw ho ito, lalo na pinakamahirap po is at the age of 14. And there are also a lot of neuropsychiatric conditions that are leading to cause of disability. Especially po, no? Lalo na po sa prenatal. Importante ho na pag tayo ay mag-aasawa, importante ho talaga na tayo ay ready to bear the children. Kasi doon pa lang po, no? Sa prenatal and of course the perinatal conditions and of course ang ating pong responsibilidad na alagaan ho natin ng tama ang ating mga anak at ang ating estudyante ay very important aside from our positive home environment, school environment, no? Mamaya ho, i-discuss ho natin yan. That the environment really affects the conditions, especially of the children, the adults, the family, the school, and the community. And children with mental health disorders face a lot of major challenges, no? Lalo na po yung stigma, no, na minsan hindi tanggap. At maraming salamat ho sa ating mental health law. Kasi ho ngayon medyo aware na ho ang mga tao. And of course, also, prevention of isolation and discrimination, and definitely fundamental rights that everyone should have an access to healthcare, no, and education facilities. Especially, ang double whammy pa ho dito is that in these times of pandemic, mas dumodoble ho ang mental health concerns that occur, especially in the World Health Organization study and the CDC. Okay? So magandang hapon ho for the overwhelming support that you are giving, now from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Welcome to Rexel Saturdays. And sabi nga ho ni Secretary Briones of DepEd, no? Sabi niya, ang first 2 weeks daw talaga ay talagang napakahirap sa mga bata at sa lahat ho ng school stakeholders kung paano haharapin ito. Okay? Kaya ito ho ay isang malaking trabaho ng mga registered counselors natin, ang psychosocial counseling. So ang mga teachers ho natin ay pwede pong makilahok, no, sa ating pong MHPSS o psychosocial support. Okay? But of course, the counselors and the psychologists are really more for what? More on psychosocial counseling. Okay? Ang agreement po natin is gamit ho tayo ngayong hapong ito ng ating open space technology. No? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng open space technology? Number one, tandaan ho natin ngayong hapon ito that whoever comes is the right person. Kayo ho ang mga tamang tao, no? Para ho makinig, para maging liwanag at maging well-being advocate po, lalo po ng ating pamilya at ng ating eskwelahan at ng ating komunidad. Naniniwala ho ba kayo dyan? That whoever comes is the right person. Okay? Number 2, whenever it starts, this is the right time. No? So ngayon po ay hitik na hitik po ang ating isang oras at may testimony pa po tayo ng true to life inspiration po from our dear co-advocate Russell Batoy later on the last 7 minutes. So wag ho kayong bibitiw sa araw na ito. Okay? And number 2, whatever happens is just a beginning of something great. No? So maraming salamat ho sa lahat po ng mga nakisali sa araw na ito, lalo na po ang Rex Publication, FEU, Unilab Foundation, and the peer counselors. No? Kasi ho, whenever it starts, this is a beginning of something great to become a light to someone else, become an inspiration, not our family, to our children, to our school, and our community, especially po as we go back in August. Okay? And number 4, when it's over, it's over. So, isang oras hong hitik na hitik, 2:30 po. Magpapaalam ho tayo para next Saturday, magkita-kita ho ulit tayo. Kasi ho, meron din ho tayong pamilya, meron din ho tayong mga trabaho, lalo na po ang ating mga work from home. Okay? Sulat nyo nga ho dito, ano ang pinaka-importanting principle ninyo sa araw na ito. Okay? Na kayo ho ay lahat ang tamang tao, at kayo ay blessing, and this will definitely be something great for all of us. Okay? So this is what they call the age of disruption, no? At kung makikita niyo ho, ito na ho ang nangyayari sa atin. Okay? From the command control to face-to-face. Ngayon ho, no? Papunta na ho tayo into e-learning courses, customized online courses. Busy-busy ho ang DepEd in our meeting, no? Mga few days ago. And there's also what they call now experiential virtual classrooms. And of course, ngayon po, nagkakaroon ako ng Zoom fatigue, Cisco fatigue, no? Webco fatigue, no? Teams fatigue, because napakarami ho ngayong virtual meetings, social networks, online communities, and a lot of meetups, no? And sa mga PR professionals naman po, nagkakaroon din ho tayo ng changing media landscape. Lalo na ho, medyo nalungkot tayo nung nawala po talaga yung ating ABS-CBN, no? Kapamilya. Of course, tayo din po ay kapuso, kapatid. But there are a lot of technological innovations in the age of disruption. Kaya coming from the word disruption, somewhat everything is disrupted. Even the behavior, even the values of the people. There are political climate na minsan nakakalungkot din. No? Pero of course, ginagawa ho ng gobyerno ang kanilang lahat na magagawa. Okay? Tightening budgets, yan po talaga yung medyo nakakaiyak din ho ngayong mga panahon na ito kasi marami yung nawalan ng trabaho, no? Marami yung pwedeng ma-laid off at wala po talaga mga daily incomes ang ordinaryong Pilipino. At ang ordinaryong Pilipino ngayon, ano po ang tawag dyan? Yan po yung tinatawag na, ito po yung mga average family ngayon. Okay? Yung mga middle income, yun na po yung naging somewhat mahirap. Okay? Competitions, there are a lot of competitions, especially in digital marketing, diverse workforce, global economic situation, okay? And of course, a lot of government regulations. Marami yung naluluging mga eroplano ngayon, no? Na airlines, marami rin po mga hotels, no? At kung ano-ano pang bansa ang nalulugi. Kasi po yung mga government regulations ng entry, pati po import and export, okay? And ito po yung nakakalungkot din ngayon sa mga panahon na ito. In the age of disruption, napakarami po ng distribution of fake news. 92%. At lahat po ay nadidistort ang katotohanan. Okay? So when you go for distortion of truth, marami pong mga batang nakukonfuse dito kung ano ang tama at mali. Kaya ho nagkakaroon ng maladjustment. There are a lot of malicious behavior, lack of corporate transparency and even government transparency, counseling of controversial clients, no? Marami rin po dito yung mga trolls ngayon, personal consumer data, advocating for divisive issues, no? Yung mga martial law issues, and branded content, and of course, the use of artificial intelligence. Okay? So, ang dami rin ho ngayon mga trolls na binabayaran para mabaligtad ang ating values. Okay? So, ang pinakamainit din na usapan sa ating mga eskwelahan ngayon is Ano ba talaga? Online education ba talaga? Synchronous or asynchronous ba? On time ba or hindi on time? Asynchronous? Ito po ba ay blended learning? At ako rin po ay nagdi-discern sa aking mga anak kung ano po ba talaga? Homeschool ba, etc. So dahil po dyan, nagkaroon din ho tayo aside from uncertainty, aside from age of disruption, no, where everything is disrupted, ano pa ho, nagkaroon pa po ng COVID, uncertainty, isolation, anxiety, and sadness. And prior to that COVID, napakarami na hong atake, no, sa ating mental health and psychological well-being. Number one, prior to that is the Iran conflict, no, yung malagerang conflict po ng Iran. The Taal volcano eruption, sa lahat po ng mga taga-Taal, hello? African swine fever in Davao Occidental, no? At nakakatawa ho ang mga kabataan. Marami pong nalungkot at na-depress sa Jaden breakup. Natatandaan nyo ba yun? Nakakalungkot po, no? At marami pong nag-tweet dyan. Hostage taking in Green Hills, no? Vico issue, yung mga government issues po natin. Of course, he sent Coco Pimentel nung sa Makati Hospital. ABS-CBN, lalo na po yung mga matatanda nating senior citizen, ay nalungkot ho talaga, no? Dahil hindi na ho sila makakapanood ng telenovela. And of course, now, mainit-init pa ho yung Dr. Duque's issues, no? Kung ano na ho ba talaga ngayon? First wave na ba tayo ngayon or second wave na ba tayo? And because of that, ano po lahat ang mga pangyayari, ng mga changes and adjustments ho na ating nararanasan sa araw na ito. So poverty, ang kahirapan ho talaga ay nakakalungkot. Sickness and death, napakarami ho talagang nagkakasakit ngayon, no? At marami ho talagang namamatay. At ang malungkot pa doon ay hindi natin madamayan, no? Ang ating mga loved ones. Abuses and violence among children. Kasi ho, minsan nakakalungkot that because of the higher level of dysfunctionalities ng mga pamilya, nakaramihan po ng mga Gen Zs ngayon, because of the dysfunctionality of the family, minsan ho, ayaw po nila yung mga magulang nila. Yan ho ang brutal fact na napakasakit, no? Na minsan po yung mga parents nila na hindi good example, no? Yun po ang kanilang nagiging major stressor. Employment, no? So marami ho talaga nawala ng trabaho. Mga seamen, mga OFW, and of course dito ho sa Pilipinas, no? Na napakalungkot na talagang maging mahirap. Ang ating pong eskwelahan, no? So marami din pong medyo nagkaroon ng mga self-regulation problems and ranting po sa mga online classes. Pati po ang mga teachers minsan hindi makasabay because of the technology. Safety, no? Because of this uncertainty, and of course, survival concerns. Paano maging masaya? Paano kumalma? Paano makatulog? No? Paano kumain ng tama? Okay? And because of that, nagkaroon ho kami ng study and where I am also helping the UNICEF. Ano po ba ang epekto ng pandemic sa mga bata? At ano rin po ang epekto nito sa ating mga Gen Z or what we call the centennials that we have, okay? Or the new digital natives aside from the millennial generation. Number one, ito po yon ang kanilang mga makatotohanang statements. Kabisado ko ng bawat sulok ng bahay namin. Gusto ko nang lumabas, no? So sa mga katulad ko pong Dora, napakahirap po talaga magstay, no? Na hindi po tayo lumalabas, lalo na po mga canceled flights, canceled weddings, no? Na mag-aanak ko sana ako ng kasal ngayong araw na ito. Okay? Canceled graduation. Kasama ko ang boomer parents ko sa bahay. Ayan, no? So yung po mga generation gaps po natin sa ating mga anak, okay? Nakakasawa na ang routine dito sa bahay. Kailangan ko lagi tumulo sa gawain bahay. So lagi pong naglilinis yung mga bata ng plato. Lagi ako nasasermonan. At lagi ako mali. Because also of what? The generation gaps. And of course, irritable na rin ang mga magulang kasi walang income, no? Hindi ko na makikita si crush, no? Yan, yung iba nagsustock pa, which is a kind of bullying sa kanilang mga social media. Hindi ko na makakasama mga barkada ko hanggang video call na lang kami, okay? Kasi ibang mga youth ngayon na may mga boyfriends and girlfriends na, okay? Hindi ako nakamarcha sa graduation. Ito ang aking COVID-19 milestone ko ngayon, okay? Hala! Paano ng mga school events gaya ng intrams, ng fair, which is definitely what? Create a lot of high school and school elementary memories sana na ma-cherish natin. Di ko na ako makapag-basketball, okay? Sa mga athletic ho, hindi ho talaga ngayon makalaro. Volleyball, okay? Kaya puro, no? Puro TikTok ho ang nangyayari. Puro po mga screen addiction and game and internet addiction na nangyayari. At marami na rin ho ang nakakamiss mag-aral. Pero, ang catch ho dito is, hindi ko naman kaya yung distance learning, no? Sinasabi ho nila, yung iba sabi nila boring daw, okay? Kasi nga ho, nag-adjust at nabigla ang kabataan at ang mga eskwelahan. And of course, at ang tao na rin. Okay? Kayo po, ano po kaya ang mga naranasan ninyong minsan no, parang nakakalungkot, pero dahil nga po sa tayo mga Filipino, tayo masayahin, ginagawa rin ho natin siyang memes, no? Okay? Yan, part ng high school life, no? Okay? Nakakamiss ho talaga yan. Okay? At ang ating mga kaibigan. Okay? Yan. So, these are the observation, no? You have to observe the behavior of the changes in your child. Sabi ho dito ng CDC 2020. Okay? Ito po ay isa sa no? Katulad po ng WHO, no? Ito po ay isa sa pinaka-reliable source para mas magabayan natin ang ating mga anak, ang ating mga learners, at ang ating mga pamilya. Punta ho kayo dyan, okay? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Okay? Number 1, nagkakaproblema ho ang inyong mga anak, tatandaan ninyo, okay? Pag ito po ay biglang may excessive crying or irritation in younger children. Okay? Pwede rin ho itong because of the lack of social-emotional learning, na tinakil ho natin ang ating first webinar, okay? Natatandaan niyo po. Pero pag ito po ay sumusobra, and the environment that we have, okay? Na talagang hindi ho nakakalabas sa mga bata, okay? At marami hong nababasang mga fake news, at maraming negative, there will be excessive crying or irritation, okay? Returning to behaviors that they have outgrown, bigla hong yung toilet training po ng anak nyo, biglang napupo, bigla hong nag-bedwet, no? So this can also be sources of some problems, some trauma, okay? Some anxiety, and some red signals. So sabi ko dito, nakakatawa tong memes na to, no? Mabigat ang ating topic ngayon, pinagaan ko na lang because of this. So unhealthy eating or sleeping habits. Okay? So paglabas nyo, parang puro tayo junk foods, no? Paggabi, binge eating, no? At kung ano-ano mga kinakain natin at puro mga fats. Okay? And of course, sa sobrang rant po ng mga bata sa online learning, sinasabi nila dito, ano nilang memes, poor school performance, no? Or avoiding, no? Avoiding, okay, online classes. Okay? So sabi dito in the memes, when an engineer graduate from an online class, no? So talagang sinisiraan yung online class, no? But of course, there are a lot of in class to get courses. Paano nila yayakapin ito? At din po ang mga pamilya. Hmm? Nakaka-relate po ba kayo? Isulat nyo po yung mga nare-relate ninyo, ha? Okay? So, excessive worry or sadness. Okay? So, ito po yung memes ng Life Science PH. Ano na naman kayang ulam bukas? No? Kasi minsan, nagsasawa na po tayo kung ano-ano po yung ulam na nakakainin natin or kung saan sulok tayo ng bahay pupunta. And of course, we also worry for the what? For the safety of our family when they leave, no? Okay? Yung mga pumapasok ko, lalo na po yung mga frontliners natin na talaga pong we salute them for their commitment and dedication to save lives. Okay? So, nakaka-relate po ba kayo? So, ito pa po yung irritability and acting out behaviors, which is also connected to poor social emotional learning. So, sobrang irita natin. Minsan ano nangyayari? Pinapuso natin ito sa social media, sa Twitter, no? Na talaga hong nakakaapekto hindi lang ho sa ating mga kabataan, sa ating mga bata, no? Okay? But of course, sa lahat po ng community. Sana ho magkaroon ho tayo ng social media, no? Netiquette, no? Okay? Naturuan ho ang ating mga anak kung ano ang tama ang mali sa pag-post. Kasi ho, kung tayo rin ho ay nagpo-post ng ganito, meron din ho tayong malaking problema. And that is what we call knowing our boundaries on how we properly post online. And of course, do it also offline. Okay? So yan po yung tinatawag. Ano pong tawag dyan? Sad fishing. Okay? So hindi ho maganda na nagpo-post tayo ng mga hindi inspirational kasi ho, we have accountability to our viewers. Kasi ho, mas dumadami ho ang nagkakaroon ng suicide, depression, at ito ay nakakahawa. So sana ho, tandaan ho natin yung ating accountability sa bawat tao. We have a responsibility. Kasi po, I respect you, na-wall nyo yan, pero importante ho, no? Natingnan nyo ho kung ano yung accountability nito at magiging epekto nito sa ating kapwa. Lalo na ho ang mga bata, which is ang mga bata po, in the 0 to 18 years old, this is still what? Formation of values. Okay? So, difficulty with attention and concentration. So, nagkaroon na rin ho ng memes dito kay President Duterte, no? So, yung mga bata, hindi na alam kung saan pupunta. Kasi nga parang puro yun na lang, lalo na sa isang maliit na kwarto or isang maliit na condominium. Or minsan po talagang, of course, sa lahat po ng mga mahihirap nating kapatid na Filipino, talaga pong stressful. Meron din ako mga clients na aside from isa lang hong maliit na kwarto, may mga sakit pa ho yung mga magulang nila. And then yung mga magulang nila, syempre, naiirita din. Okay? So talagang yung concentration at attention ay hindi talaga makukuha ng isang bata, lalo na ho sa nag-aaral ngayon. Kaya po, importante ho talaga. Okay? Nabibigyan po sila natin ng definitely positive environment. This starts from what? From the family, online and offline, by being a good example to our children. Okay? Observe behavior pa rin po in the CDC 2020, avoidance of activities that enjoyed in the past. Minsan po may mga times, ayaw na ho natin makihalubilo sa mga tao. No? From sadness to loneliness. At pag ito po ay 2 weeks of extreme sadness, ito po na ay nagiging depression. Kasama po dyan ang walang pagtulog, no? Ang walang concentration, and so on and so forth. Mamaya po, i-discuss ko sa inyo yan. Okay? Unexplained headaches or body pain. Marami ho tayo, minsan yung biglang sumasakit yung ulo natin. Ito po ay isang hindi rin magandang signal kasi it also affects ang ating pong psychological well-being. Also has what we call physical health. Nagkakaroon ho ng epekto sa physical health din natin. Okay? And of course, use of alcohol. No? Marami ho ngayon ng... meron nga ho last week yung mind setting natin, yung isang counselor na participant natin. Nagpa-game po siya sa kanyang mga pamilya, sa kanya pong angkan. And marami po doon, ang nagsagot ay red horse mindset, no? Marami po ngayon yung ginagamit yung ambulance, tapos they deliver lang pala puro mga alcohol, no? Mga beer, no? Tobacco, okay? Other drugs, no? And other negative behaviors. Okay? At isa pa ho dyan, yung addiction ng mga bata into dangerous phone applications that parents, guardians, no? Of course, helping professionals should know. Okay? At isa ho sa pinaka-dangerous dyan is what? Yung TikTok ho. No? Mamaya po, explain natin. Kasi ho, this can be a pedophile magnet. Kaya ho, ang dami ring abuses ngayon. Okay? Lalo na ho yung mga sayaw natin. No? May karapatan ho tayong sumayaw. Kaya lang minsan ho, marami pong pedophile ang nagte-take advantage ng mga anak ninyo. Lalo na ho kung merong mga, syempre, minsan nababastos, no, because of how the somewhat, no, okay, yung pagsusuot din ho natin mga damit, karapatan ho natin yun. Kaya lang, may mga times ho na nakakabukas ho tayo ng temptation, especially po sa mga pedophile, okay, or mga sex maniacs. Delikado rin ho dito, yung grinder, no? Ito po yung mga dating app ng ating mga LGBT family. Kaya lang po, definitely I respect the LGBT family kasi po mababait ho sila. And of course, we have to accept them for inclusion and we love them because they are human beings. Kaya lang po minsan po itong grinder ay sumusobra. Okay? Katulad daw pag nakita kayo sa TikTok na nakita po yung medyo tiyan ninyo, no? Okay? So minsan po may mga offering na o magkano yung dibdib nyo, etc. And also nagkakaroon ho ng cause of prostitution. Okay? And so on and so forth. No whisper, no? Meron din po tayong mga Tinder, Omegle, na medyo delikado ho that you have to watch out. Okay? And because of that, pag medyo active po sa social media and negative sites ang inyong mga anak at ang inyong mga estudyante, there are times po na get naked on camera, parents in the room, okay? So nagsisinungaling ho sila, okay? Talk dirty to me, at sila ho ay naa-atake ng mga pedophile at ng mga negative strangers, no? According to the Child Rescue Coalition. Kaya importante ho, no? The right, no? Dapat po yung mga bata, supposedly hindi pa ho talaga nag-gadget. Sana ho, if I may suggest, sana 18 and above, no? Because of the values that they have, okay? And then sana po yung wifi natin, hindi ho talaga laging 24 hours may access ang ating mga anak. Kasi pag natutulog tayo, we are busy with working home, pwede ho talaga silang tempt, no? At maatake ng mga nabibiktima or abuses and violence. And sabi ko sa mga pag-aaral, no, okay, and sa findings, TikTok is a pedophile magnet and unsafe for our kids. Karapatan mo natin i-share yung ating mga nakakatawa, no, but of course, doble ingat ho, no, okay? And of course, marami rin ho ngayon mga computer gaming addiction, which was already declared as a mental health disorder. So mamaya ho, pag-uusapan din natin yan, pag ito po ay wala ng guilt feelings ang inyong mga anak, hindi na nakakakain at hindi na nakakatulog ng tama, importante ho talaga, no? Na kailangan ho yung right supervision, okay? Firm, friendly, but firm discipline to our children and fair agreement are very important. Ito po ay isang Thai kid na bumulagana lang, no? Last November 2018. Kasi ho, hindi na siya natutulog, hindi na siya kumakain, no? So the physical health were also affected. Importante pa po dito, nawawala na po yung lack of empathy and compassion ng kabataan. Sila po ay nagiging parang parang kalyo na. Wala nang karapatan. Okay? Wala nang nararamdaman. Okay? So with the presence of stress, no, aside from all the signals, no, that should be observed among your children and adolescent and teenagers, there's also what they call, ito pa ho, with the presence of stressed family member and negative environment at home. No? So minsan ho, nagkakaroon na ako ng Zoom fatigue, no? At kung ano-ano pang team fatigue, no? And I'm also in telehealth now. We have telehealth in FTU, which is what we call the tele-well-being. And I'm also volunteering for the National Center for Mental Health. So napakarami ko ho talagang usap. Kaya minsan ho talaga nagpapahinga rin ako kasi importante ho talaga na i-balance natin yan. And because of that, nagiging irritable ho tayo sa bahay. At minsan nasisigawan natin ang ating mga anak. Okay? Kaya ho, yung ating pong mga anak ay nahihirapan din pong mag-cope. No? Okay? And exposure. And from all the signals, there's also in the environment, in the family, meron din po tayo mga exposure to unusual situations. Okay? Yan po yung mga panic buying. Baka isa ho kayo dyan na guilty, ha? Ito rin po ito po yung graduation sa isang bansa, no? Na ganyan na po yung naging graduation at marami ho sa TikTok na memes din, no? Na talaga pong iniitsa na lang yung medal, no? Marami pong mga kasal na na-cancel, special events, travel, na gumastos ho tayo sa ating mga booking.com, etc. Okay? And what are the negative effects of COVID to you and the age of disruption? Tingnan nga ho natin kung ano po yung mga nangyayari ho or sa mga anak ninyo na naging negative effects, no? Okay? Yan. Usage and limitations daw po, sabi po ni Hans, no? Okay? Sabi ni Rico, kailangan mag-growth mindset. Okay? So, isulat nyo nga ho sa inyong mga comment box kung ano po yung mga symptoms na nararanasan nyo because of this uncertainty, disruption, and advancement, no, sa ating pong nangyayari sa mundo na ito. Okay? Panic buying, sabi ni Michelle. Super guilty. Yeah. Loss of job, no? So talagang I definitely feel you, no? Okay. Worrying. Alam niyo po ba yung mga simple worries na I'm useless, I'm unlovable. Okay? Ano pa po? Most of the people dislike me. Okay? Hindi ako mahal ng magulang ko. Okay? I'm worthless sa mga nagtatrabaho ngayon na parang feeling nyo wala ho kayong output na nagagawa, lalo na sa mga sales, no, targets, etc. Ito pong mga negative thoughts na ito po yung pwedeng magbigay ng ng bukol sa utak nyo para po tayo ay maging miserable. Kaya importante po yung positive self-talk that I can do it. Okay? All will be well with the help of God. For those who are spiritual, I can do it. Of course, coping mechanisms, no? Para ho itong negative thought na ito, hindi po siya maging automatic thought at hindi po siya maging cognitive dissonance, no? Kasi ho, yung cognitive dissonance, ito po yung lalabo ng buhay ninyo. At ito ay magiging source of anxiety, source of sadness, okay? Source of depression, source of trauma, and other mental health disorders. Kaya importante ho na importante ho na tingnan ninyo kung ang inyong mga negative thoughts, no? Baka po gawa-gawa natin yon because of our overthinking, no? Napaparanoid ho tayo. So tingnan ho natin kung ito ba ay opinion or ito po ba ay katotohanan, no? Para ho kung ito man ay opinion lamang, very important, no, na i-divert at i-reframe at rephrase po natin siya into positive thought so that your positive thought can give you a positive feeling and a positive behavior and a positive action plan to move on in your life. Okay? So, importante ho yan, ha? Alamin ang mga negative thoughts. Tingnan kung ito ay opinion lamang o ay may katotohanan. Kung marami kong dito ay gawa-gawa lang natin, ano hong dapat natin gawin? I-refuse po to para magkaroon ng positive feeling and for what? The motivation for us to move with life. No? Kasi ho, ang pinaka-problema ho, kaya ho tayo nagkakaroon ng mental health disorder, ay ang ating pong negative mindset that we tackled yesterday. Okay? Ang ating pong belief system on how we properly or negatively respond into the situation. Okay? Understood? Yan, so ang dami, no? Bit frustrated. Napakarami ho talagang frustrations ngayon. Loss of job, according to Dr. Cherry. Jace, uncertain. Okay? Lack of social interaction. Overthinking. Ang dami rin pong mga magnifying. Masyado po natin minamagnify. Masyado po natin pinapalala. Ano pa po? All or nothing principle. Talo na ako. Magpapakamatay na ako. Talagang wala nang kwenta tong buhay na to, all or nothing principle. Hindi ho natin kino-consider yung positivity that it can be what? That it can be improved. Okay? So these are the mental health concerns that will come. Okay? So kaya ho ngayon, because of the age of disruption and of course age of uncertainty, age of isolation, suicide is Gen Z's, no? Sabi ho ng Business Insider. That suicide is Gen Z's second leading cause of death. Kasi yung nagtataka kayo, bakit nung unang panahon, wala naman masyado nagsisuicide? Because also, aside from our thought processes, feelings, and behavior, our negative and changing environment and situation affects, just like in social psychology, that our behavior is affected by our environment and our negative environment right now. We are now in pandemic, and it's definitely an abnormal situation in different sectors in the country. Okay? So what is well-being? So ito po sa aking mga kapatid sa UNICEF, si Ma'am Mel, we are doing some programs in the UNICEF po in collaboration with FEU and Unila Foundation Heads Up PH. Gumagawa ho kami ng mga materials and toolkits po, no? Para po sa bata at kabataan. At number one po, no? Hindi ko lahat ito madidiscuss, pero isa ho sa well-being ng bata, is what we call health, no? Physical health, no? And of course, all types of health, holistic health, okay? So, personal na health, social health. Pag ang inyo pong anak ay hindi masyadong sociable, there is something wrong, okay? So, kaya po meron din tayong mga special disorders, no? Yung hindi ho talaga nagsasalita, may sariling mundo. Pag beyond po doon, that is already some personal or special disorders. So, health also in career decisions. Kailangan no, marunong ho sila, lalo na po pag 12 to 18, they already know what career or strands that they will going to be taking. Of course, importante rin po yung spiritual health, no? Okay? So sana ho manorish din natin yung spiritual health ng kabataan. Okay? By also becoming what? A good example to our children. Number 2, the right education. So, i-discern ho natin ang tama. No? Yung flexible learning po ba tayo? Homeschool po ba tayo? Okay? Blended learning po ba tayo? Modular po ba tayo? Kasi importante ho talaga yung health. Kaya hindi ho natin masisi ang eskwelahan na kailangan ho talaga natin mag-paradigm shifting for online education. Okay? So number 3 is family relationship. Nourish nyo po yung family relationship nyo. Quality time is already what? The love, no? Love is already equated, no, with quality time with our children in the age of disruption and in the age of C generation and alpha generation. Subjective and psychological well-being. Holistic health po yan, no? Psychological, physical, personal, no? Cognitive, affective, spiritual, eh? Material well-being, no? And poverty. Yan po yung nakaka-apekto sa kabataan ngayon, no? Yung pong wala pong matulugan na tama. Nakita niyo po yung mga bata na apektuhan, di ba? Yung mga magulang po nila nasa jeep lang po at walang makain. So definitely, poverty can also affect the well-being of our children and our youth. Number 6, peer relationships and risky behavior. No? So marami ho tayo dito, yung mga nagpi-peer relationships sa mga negative dating sites. No? Okay, ano pa? Risky behavior, yung po may mga nagsa-self-harm, no? Inom, addiction, okay? Participation, importante po na nagpa-participate po yung ating mga anak. Kasi ho, pag nabibigyan ho natin sila ng boses sa eskwelahan at sa ating bahay, nararamdaman ho nila that they are what? That they belong and that they are important, no? So sana ho, hindi lang ho lagi nating mahal yung panganay. Sana ho, hindi ho naiiwan yung pangalawa, which is the middle child syndrome. At yung bunso na cute, na paborito rin ho natin. So sana ho, pantay-pantay. Participation in family decision and participation also in class. Mas tutukan ho natin yung mga mahihinating estudyante in participating, okay, with our students. Very important po yung child safety na dapat ho nakakapaglaro ng tama. So ngayon po, yung paglalaro, play, in the PPC, we had a meeting yesterday po, yung Philippine Play Coalition. So importante po yung laro, kahit po ngayon, yung mga board games, drawings are very important. Kami po, bago kami matulog ng mga anak ko, yung categories, naglalaro ho kami. Okay? Yung around the world, no? Kung hindi ho pwede mo na magagalaw ng sobra. But of course, we have yoga. Yeah, we have yoga in the morning. And of course, healthy food. Okay? Number 9 is also vulnerable groups of children. Ito po yung mga bata na nagiging at risk pag ang mga bata ho ay exposed saan? Sa mga may sakit na magulang. Ano pa? Sa mga matatanda nating lola at lola na may sakit na rin. No? Of course, nakakalungkot din po pag wala ho silang magulang kasi hindi natin masisi that their parents are OFW. Okay? Isa rin ho dyan is yung mga may malalalang sakit na magulang. Ang mga magulang po syempre na single po na parent, no? Talaga pong they really double their time. So minsan ho, hindi nila alam kung tatay sila or nanay, kaya I salute them. Of course, yung mga may separated family, talaga pong we have children who can really be at risk, okay? But of course, sa mga may pamilya po, pwede rin po maging at risk kung hindi naman ho tayo matinong magulang, okay? So those were the child well-being indicators. Okay? So ito po ang aking little family. I have young kids, no? At sila ho ay nag-aaral dito in one of the schools in Quezon City. Okay? Yeah. So sa Lourdes School of Quezon City, hi po sa mga teachers ng anak ko at saka counselor at saka po sa St. Dominic. Okay? So sila Sister Vince, sila Sister Agnes, baka ho, nakita ko ho sila na nanonood din, hi to them. So very important that it definitely starts with the family. Okay? So being a great example and becoming a good example, no? An absolute truth of good example to your children through your simple ways. So this is understanding well-being, no? In the general sense, okay? Physical, mental, emotions, okay? Your affect that is brought to you by your mental or your positive mindset. Okay? Family is very important. Social health, okay? That will definitely also what? Provide you well-being together with spiritual health. Okay? So, sabi ho dito ng psychological well-being, naniniwala ho tayo that it starts with the self-image, wherein we have self-concept, okay? Self-esteem, yung paniniwala ho natin na maganda tayo, na meron tayong competence, no? So, pag po yung mga bata ay poor self-concept and poor self-esteem, that is also what? That is also not psychologically well. Self-actualization, tayo pong mga counselors at teachers, psychologists, really have to anchor our students and our children, no? For them to reach their fullest potentials. Wala akong ginawa ang Diyos na bobo. Okay? Resilience, lagi ako naniniwala sa FEU po, importante po yung bravery, no? Yan po yung aming values that we, in order for us to be brave and be resilient, we have to be humble, no? Hindi ho tayo mayabang para ho harapin natin ang ating mga pagkakamali, no? At harapin natin ang obstacles ng buhay. Industry, importante po sa growth mindset, mag-effort po tayo, perseverance. Tulungan ho natin yung sarili na mag-effort sa umaga, mag-routine ho tayo. Okay? Daily routine that are healthy, set aside po natin yung morning natin sa pagtatrabaho. And of course, quality time to our family. And of course, at the end of the day, every day, we have to be an advocate of the neuroscience of empathy. Kailangan ho, nararamdaman natin, lalo na po yung mga naghihirap ngayon at nahihirapan. Genuineness, no? Wag ho tayong Tupperware, wag ho tayong Orocan, no? But we have to really be genuine, no? In how we interact with people. Be authentic. And of course, becoming a blessing to others in all our simple ways. Okay? So ito po yung rich model of psychological well-being. And isa rin ho ito sa gauge how happy we are. No? Okay? So, sulat ho natin yung mga activities natin sa ating comment box. Ano po, para po tayo magkaroon ng psychological well-being in the age of disruption and uncertainty, okay? Ano po yung mga activities natin na nagbibigay po sa atin ng personal growth? Yan. Ako po, ang personal growth ko ngayon, natuto na po ako mag-webinar. So dati hindi talaga ako marunong mag-talk ng ganito. Okay, sa awa ng Diyos, sa REC, sa lahat po ng mga sumusuporta na nag-i-invite at naniniwala, medyo natutunan ko na ito, personal growth, no? Nag-aaral din ako ng mga interest ngayon, okay? And of course, I volunteer myself, no, sa mga NGOs para makatulong as technical expert po ng kanilang mga libro, ng mga manual, no? And of course, with the Unilab Foundation. And of course, with our telehealth, na talaga po simula po nung 2 years ago, nag-telehealth na po ang FEU, and we are thankful for that, okay? For the opportunity to serve our students. Number 2, self-acceptance. Importante ho ito, no? Okay? Natanggapin niyo po kung ano po yung mga mali, no? Pero dapat may gawin tayo dito, okay? At hindi ito pwedeng serve lang na data yung mga pagkakamali natin, okay? Harapin natin and be humble enough. Intellectual humility and learning agility to improve also. And the grit, the mental toughness to improve ourselves, no? This is high time to improve ourselves. Autonomy. So wag sana tayong ego po na mga sitwasyon ngayon, pero sana ma-dominate natin yung mga situation ng right response and right thought processes, back up by our social emotional learning, and of course our mindset. Okay? Environmental mastery. Isa ho sa struggle ko as a working from home mom, no? Yung una po is hindi ko alam kung paano ako magtatrabaho nung una. Okay? That is really, hindi ko alam kung paano yung office ko. So, kinondition ko po yung mga anak ko, no, na gumawa ng isang maliit na office dito sa aming bahay. So, ito po yung aking office para po talaga Pag nakita po ng mga anak ko na may time sa umaga, ito po yung aking trabaho. So ngayon po, medyo nandyan sila sa labas, nagsiswimming po sila. May maliit po kaming pool na binili para maglaro sila kasi alam nila working time to ni mommy and for advocacy as well. So importante po nagawa ko kayo ng isang place para po lahat doon, no? Lahat po ng mga trabaho nyo, lagay nyo doon para po makondition kayo at i-push kayo ng environment. Just like in organizational development, importante po yung environment nyo that you can focus. And of course, sacrifice po na medyo maaga kayong gumising para po yung mga anak nyo magka-quality time pa kayo. So pag natutulog yung anak nyo, pwede ho talaga kayong lalo magtrabaho. Okay? Positive relationship and positive connection. Okay? So pag sinabi po positive connection and positive relationship, importante ho, wag nyo sabihin yung mga kapatid nyo, for example, baboy ka, o taba mo na ngayon, or bakla ka, etc. That is bullying. No? So importante ho that we have positive connections with the positive people in our lives. Kung wala ho tayong mga magulang ngayon, layo sila, kumustahin ho natin sila. And of course, the pets that we have, if we are pet lovers. And of course, know our purpose in life. No? Know our purpose as a child. Know our purpose as a son and daughters of our family. Know our purpose as a teacher, as a counselor, okay? As a helping professional, as a parent in our family. Okay? Me, my purpose in life right now is what? My purpose in life right now is definitely to what? To be a blessing in my simple webinars. Okay? So, mag-share na po yung aking testimony. Ito po si Russell. Okay? In 7 minutes, pakinggan po natin siya. Okay? And bago ko po sa kanya ibigay, okay? Very important po, no? Yung psychological well-being can be chunked down. Napakarami ho pag nakita ninyo. Okay? Purpose, hope, character strengths, okay? The flow, the optimism, the attachment, the gratitude, and the control. Okay? So talon lang ho tayo kasi pupunta na po tayo kay Russell muna. Okay, sige. Punta po tayo kay Russell. So mag-share po si Russell. Okay? So Russell po,
hello po.
Hello Russell. Russell is a dear co-advocate, no? From the peers, okay, that we founded, and I'm going to give you his testimony and inspirational talk for today. So I do hope that he can touch you as well, okay, to raise a good family as well, and of course, becoming also really an accountable, helping professional and a blessing for others. Sige po. Hi, Russell.
Okay. Hello po.
Sige.
Ayan. Nakikita na po ba ako?
Yeah, nakikita na siya. Sige, Russell. You can start now. Naka-mute ka. Yeah. Okay.
Ayan. Hello po. Good afternoon. Sa lahat po ng mga viewers dito sa Rex Cell Saturdays. Of course, Dr. Sheikh Hoxon, thank you po for inviting me. Yeah. And of course, sa Rex. Now I'm gonna share my story. It's a testimony po of what I've experienced before. So they call it, actually my friends, those people who are close to me called it a brave story. So, next slide po. So, ma'am, next slide.
Sorry.
Ayan. Thank you. Dyan po, as you can see, yeah, that's me. No? This was me as a young boy. So I came from a happy family, and I was raised originally I'm from El Nido, Palawan. And when I was young, my mom would always take me to different barrios because my mom she's a frontliner right now. She's working in Qatar. She's a registered nurse. And even before, when she was here in the Philippines, she would always bring me to different barrios in my hometown in El Nido. And at that time, at a young age, somehow I had seen life in a different lens. And then years later, we moved to Manila. At that time, just like any child like me, no, na gusto ko po na maging achiever. I wanted to make my parents proud of me. And I think I was able to do that. But then at the age of 12, my parents decided to work overseas. So they had to work abroad so as to be able to give us a better life. And young as I was, I had no choice but to live independently. Although my relatives would visit me sometimes. It wasn't really easy living without my parents to guide me. But during those times, iniisip ko lang palagi yung sinasabi ng mami ko na huwag kong pabayaan yung buhay ko because darating yung time na mag-isa na lang ako. So hindi ko makalimutan yung mga sinasabi ng mami ko. So I focused on my studies, I joined competitions, I joined organizations, and then college came. And just like what I had been doing in high school, I continued to excel in my field, and I've been part of different organizations as well. But unexpectedly, because at the time I really didn't know about mental health in general. So I could not explain what I was feeling at that time. I just know that I felt a lot of frustrations and they began to pile up. And those things led me deeper into misery. And the truth of my experience was that I suffered from depression and I attempted to end my journey. I lost my mere purpose of existence and I was really struggling. So in the next slide po, you would see na my photo. In the next slide po, Ma'am Sheikh. Yes. Next po. There, those are my photos when I was in high school. Yeah, that was me when I attempted to end my journey. It was like a dream, but it felt so real. And during that time, all I could see was darkness. And sometimes I would hear voices at the time because my mom, my dad, and everything. And when I finally woke up, I saw my mom, my friends, and those people, my other relatives. They were smiling at me. It seemed like nothing really happened. Then that's the time when I took my first breath and then I prayed. I'm not a religious person, but at that time I was asking for God's forgiveness and that please let me live. I lived, but survival was just the beginning of a much bigger fight. Waking up every morning po, going through the whole day and getting myself to sleep at night have been a vicious cycle of struggles. It was really debilitating and disabling. Recovery was not really easy, but in every step of the way, I am lucky that I have with my family with me, I have with my friends. So, tama po yung sinabi ni Doc Sheikh, yung goal po ng family, ng parents po sa bahay, talagang nakakatulong po siya para sa psychological well-being ng mga kabataan po, especially po sa mga merong mga mental health conditions. Yung takeaway ko po dun kay Doc Sheikh, of course, first po is self-acceptance because before, I was afraid and I was ashamed of telling other people that I attempted to end my journey. But now I accepted it and that led me to knowing my purpose in life. Now my purpose is when I joined the peer organization, that's the time when I met Dr. Sheikh. I joined her in her talks before. And right now, she invited me to share my story. And I'm really happy that I'm able to inspire other people through my story. And then now I can see that I'm getting better because as you all know po, I have a major depressive disorder and hindi naman po talaga siya nako-cure totally. So we just learn how to manage your episodes or relapses, and then kailangan meron ka lang pong grounding techniques, something that can hold yourself from your dark thoughts. So I started rebuilding myself again. I went back to school, and that's the time when I started the Braveheart project. So this project po with FEU peers and of course the peer organization of the Philippines, we did different projects po. In the next photos po sa slides, makikita nyo po dito yung mga talks po na ginawa ko about mental health and of course yung mga projects po namin sa mga next pa pong slides. Ayan. So yan po yung sa FEU peer counselors. Yan po yung mga projects na ginawa namin. Sige po. Next pa po, Doctor. And there. Ayan po. Sa iba-ibang mga universities po, I already went to other universities. So to end my sharing po, this is what I always tell my listeners po every time I talk, especially sa fellow youth ko po. Sometimes others will tell you that life is only suffering when there is joy and love around you. And sometimes people would tell you that you cannot do this or that when you can actually take actions. Next po, Doc. And next po. Next. And sometimes They would tell you that there is no way out when there is actually a way out of your sufferings and struggles. And next, some people would tell you that things are hopeless when there is hope. And I'm really thankful na kasama ko po sila Doc Shake, yung mga guidance counselors, the role of guidance counselors for people like me, for a young person like me who is struggling from a mental health condition. Of course, the role of the family, the role of of my friends is really important to help us keep going. So next slide. And for those who are suffering, the people who are suffering too, you should take life at your own clock and take life one step at a time. And next po. For those who want to help, you can reach out to people, you can talk to them, spread a little love in the world, and show compassion, especially during the time ng pandemic na marami po sa atin na naka-experience ng fear and anxiety. And of course, always remind yourself that today is not the day that your story ends. Thank you so much po.
Yes. Ayan. So, basahin natin to. No? This is how I continue this fight. No? So, bravery, resiliency po is very important. No? And of course, I salute Russell, no? Okay, for his courage to really share his testimony. And I do hope po, no, na ito po yung maging lesson sa ating lahat to become an advocate for them. Okay? Because every minute, every second of our life, every hour, your life is your message. Okay? From your mind to your heart to your thoughts. Okay? So, talon lang po ako ng konti. Punta lang po ako dito sa ways bago ho tayo mag-end. No? Puntahan lang ho natin ito. Okay? So, very important po is that ito po yung tinatawag na World Health Organization Model for School Wellbeing Program. So, pagbalik ho natin sa eskwelahan, hindi lang ho sa ating bahay. No? Importante po talaga yung entire school community. Importante ho that we create an environment, a positive environment in our classroom, in our community, FE, values inclusion, inclusiveness, katulad din po ng Rex publication, and of course our Unilab Foundation, to promote mental and emotional well-being and positive social interaction sa buo nating eskwelahan, buo nating school, partnership with parents, and of course our community, our barangays, and our country. All students, teachers, and family, sana ho maging part ng curriculum at ng pamilya natin, mental health education and awareness. No? Not only the knowledge, hindi lang ho puro awareness ng knowledge, but attitude and behavior as well. Okay? Dapat din ho, meron tayong mga early intervention po sa ating mga estudyante. Okay? Especially for those people na talaga pong at risk na students, katulad po ng mga may red signals na sinabi ko kanina, at yung po mga at risk na yung mga magulang po nila matatanda na, mga magulang po nila wala, OFW. So Children for OFW program, those who are feeling students, no? Those who are international students, and of course, importante ho, registered counselor, psychologist, registered psychometrician for assessment, registered counselors po for professional intervention. Kasi ho, yung nangyari kay Russell ay hindi ho pwedeng usap-usap lang. Importante ho talaga yung multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral approaches. Okay? So these are the protective factors. Kami pong mga counselors, we are more on the preventive side. No? So importante po yung warm, supportive parenting para ho hindi magkaroon ng negative outcomes sa mga bata. Coping skills that are definitely healthy, stable environment na hindi ho nawiwindang at hindi ho natin iniiwan yung ating mga anak, lalo na ho kung tayo nagkakaproblema mag-asawa. And of course, positive experience in the morning, afternoon, and evening, no? Quality time with our children. Warm, supportive parenting, no? Through positive discipline. Importante po yung 3 F's of positive discipline. Friendly. We have to be friendly with our children, but definitely anchored with our firm discipline, no? So pag gadget po, gadget, pag mababa po ang grade, walang gadget, no? Ang gadget po ay dapat 1 to 2 hours a day lang. For 0 to 12, 1 hour. 12 and above, 2 hours po. Okay? Para po walang mga addictions. We have to have a fair agreement, no? Pag malaki ang kasalanan, malaki din ang consequence. Pag maliit ang kasalanan, maliit ang consequence. Okay? These are the set, no? Meron po tayong kopya. Bibigay po lahat yan ng Rex. Just download it. Ito po yung mga negative coping mechanisms And these are the evidence-positive coping mechanisms. Okay? Yoga, mindfulness in managing stress. No? Importante ho pag nagkakaroon tayo ng anxiety. Importante po pag nagkakaroon tayo ng depression. Sabi ho nung training ko in the cognitive behavior therapy, importante po talaga mindfulness now. Okay? Journaling, seeking support, no? Okay? Learning acceptance, learning forgiveness. Lalo na ho sa mga bata, nakaaway po nila yung mga anak nila. At ang mga magulang, matuto rin ho mag-forgive at wag pong maging masyadong ma-pride. Okay? Delegate responsibility to life skills, social emotional learning, know what is ethical online and offline. Okay? So ito po yung 5 senses no of learning mindfulness. Okay? Pag tayo po ay talaga pong nag-anxiety attack no or takot na takot, hindi po tayo kalmado, matahimik ho tayo no. Hindi ko na ho ito gagawin, pero pag wala ho tayong masyadong ginagawa or we are somewhat anxious or not in a calm situation, gawin ho natin to, pampatulog din ho namin to ng pamilya ko, okay? Focus yourself, go on your breathing, put into silence, no? And 5 things that you can see. Ano po yung 5 nakikita nyo sa araw na ito? Okay? Ako yung laptop ko, yung ilaw, yung aming sofa. These are the 5 things that you can see. Para po yung worries ninyo ay ma-divert no, into something, no? Into your attention. At matanggal po yung mga worries nyo of uncertainty and isolation. Number 2, 4 things that you feel. Ano pong mga nararamdaman nyo ngayon? Baka yung puso nyo hindi na masyadong tumitibok. O yung pong inyong digestive system is puro junk foods, okay? Or puro fats. 3 things that you can hear. Ano po yung mga magagandang naririnig nyo? So sana ho, maganda yung naririnig nyo sa akin. Ha? Natututo po ba kayo? Sana po we are an inspiration to you. No? Of course, to Russell as well, no? Sa kanya pong magandang storya. Number 2, 2 things that you can smell. Ano pong naaamoy nyo ngayon? And number 1 thing that you can taste. No? Kanina ho, bago, pagkatapos po ninyong mag-webinar, yung kinain nyo po ng lunch. Okay? And of course, importante ho, lagi po, we go back to the family. Stable environment through family and class vision. Kasi ang eskwelahan ay pangalawa din, no? Pangalawa din nating tahanan. Magkaroon ho kayo ng visioning. Ano po yung gusto nyo sa inyong pamilya? Kailangan ba pagising sa umaga is dapat bawal magsabi ng mga negative, no? The first 15 minutes, dapat magkwentuhan kayo ng anak ninyo, you eat together. So, katulad doon ng mga kumpanya, family vision will guide you kung ano po yung mga guidelines ninyo sa inyong bahay at ang inyong eskwelahan. Wala po dapat mga telepono pag kumakain, etc., etc. Okay? Of course, very important po yung positive connection, no? Okay? Building rapport to your children, dapat ho may positive connection kayo. And with observation, you build rapport, you go for observation to your children. Pag medyo malungkot ho siya or minsan na-anxious po siya sa umaga, tanungin niyo po yung anak niyo, anak, kumusta ka na? Kumusta ang umaga mo? Okay? How are you today? No? Mukhang medyo malungkot ka, anak. Bakit ka kaya nalulungkot? Ano kaya yung mga as I have observed for how many days, medyo hindi ka kumakain. So go for observations, go for nila. And of course, afterwards, go for requests. Tanungin niyo po, ano po yung gusto niyong i-request sa kanya? Okay? Na sana hindi siya maging malungkutin and tutulungan niyo siya. Okay? And after that, you go for action plan. Okay? Sige, hindi ko na po ito dedetalye, but of course, you have to build resilience. Okay? Resilience is the ability to cope and bounce back, no? Tulungan niyo pong mag-bounce back ang inyong mga anak, no? By being what? A coach to your children, okay? And of course, very important po, no? Okay? Character strengths of optimism, hope, self-efficacy, and resiliency. Okay? Yan po yung backbone ng mga bata para hindi sila magkaroon ng mental health problems ngayon. Okay? Social emotional learning, I have discussed already on the first webinar that we have. Self-awareness are very important, guiding them on decision-making, relationships and positive connection. Social awareness, yung mga nangyayari po na hindi maganda. Explain niyo po sa mga anak niyo na yung mga nababasa niya or mga trolls ay hindi dapat pinaniniwalaan. And of course, self-management on how to handle anxiety. Pag ang inyo pong mga anak ay minsan anxious, kuha ko kayo ng isang baso na may tubig. Lagyan niyo ito ng glitters, no? At ito ho yung parang breathing exercise ng inyong mga anak. Okay? habang bumababa po yung glitters, pwede po siyang mag-breathing exercise. Okay? You can also go for your thumb. Mindfulness can also be breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So para humapapkalma yung mga bata. We can also use your hand, no? So pag sila ho ay nagagalit, very important po, this is connected to your brain. This is the prefrontal cortex. Ito pong kamay ko, tingnan ninyo. Okay? Pag sila ho ay nagagalit or aggressive, make it to a point na palagay nyo ho sa likod nila yon at huminga ho sila. So lalagay ho sa likod, and then breathe in and breathe out. Maglakad po muna ng konti. And then pag kalmado na sila, i-condition nyo po yung anak ninyo na pwede na kayong kausapin pag sila po ay maganda na ho ang mood. Okay? So of course, positive education that we are also advocating. So build your children with social-emotional skills, character strengths, non-cognitive skills, and happiness. Okay? And of course, achievement are very important, no? Pero importante ho na hindi ho puro grades lang at hindi ho puro achievement. Okay? So as I end, okay, pasensya na ho. Medyo nag-overtime tayo. Sana natutuwa pa kayo. We are partners. The schools, the parents are partners for positive education. That we have to teach our children happy, healthy, and confident. And the schools should also integrate it. And of course, achievement, discipline, academic skills, and values. So we partner each other. Wag tayong mag-away-away in order for us to what? Develop our children for whole psychological well-being. Okay? And of course, a little marketing po. Makikita nyo rin po itong well-being book through My Career Journey. So we have modules for growth mindset, for social emotional learning, character, well-being book through My Career Journey. So you can check it out. And of course, the process of that book, yung ating pong royalty dyan will be brought to the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association, okay? Mental health programs and advocacy programs. So, we are called, tayo pong lahat, kahit po tayo mga magulang, we are called to become professional responder, professional helper, professional advocate. So, para ho, mas makatulong ho tayo sa kabataan, katulad po ni Russell, okay? So, mas magbuo po tayo ng mga magagandang community, starting with our family, of course, to our children and our community, okay?